So Ghostbusters Day's been and gone, and we've had a couple of announcements drop from Hasbro, one of which we all knew was coming, and the other one I don't think anybody expected. I'm going to give you my quick thoughts now. Hi all, Chris here, and I'm just going to give you my quick thoughts on the two main toy Ghostbusters Day announcements that came yesterday. And sorry I didn't manage to get a video out yesterday. I've been away for the weekend, so I'm back now, and I just wanted to give my quick thoughts on them. So, first of all, let's take a look at the set of 4 O-ring figures from Hasbro Pulse. And I gave you my initial thoughts a couple of months ago, was it? Last month, when the figures first appeared at WonderCon and they were photographed with the first announcement of the 1984 Ecto. These first promotional images for the O-ring figures, I think, look pretty cool. I'm quite excited about getting some figures that are slightly different to what I already own. And these Ghostbusters figures are great for the fact that they will fit to scale with the Ecto one that we received last month. And not only are they to scale, there are photos, or there is a photo, to show that 2 Ghostbusters will fit in the front of this Ecto one. So the Ghostbusters themselves will actually fit inside it and not just look to scale. There is some playability with this set. So I really like that. I don't think there's anything better than having figures that can interact with the vehicles that they're supposed to. So I really like that. And then I'm assuming that the seats that are in the back of the Ecto, at least one figure will be able to fit into one of those 2 seats. Who knows? But I think it's a fairly good assumption. But yeah, I'm really pleased. I think the figures look far more polished and detailed than I think those first images gave them credit for. It's just something different to put in my collection, and the fact that it goes with the Ecto makes me feel a lot better, because at the moment I've got the Ecto one standing next to my Plasma Series figures, and my Plasma Series figures aren't to scale to this Ecto, and will we ever get an Ecto that the Plasma Series figures are to scale on? More on that in a minute. But so yeah, I'm super chuffed, super pleased with these. I am excited for them, and I know they're not everyone's cup of tea, and I totally get that. They're not for everyone, but yeah, I'm excited. And for anyone that saw my Ecto 1 review, that is branded as Plasma Series. So I mean, I fully assumed the Plasma Series was no more, and I guess from an action figure standpoint, potentially, for that scale, potentially not anymore. But the fact that the Plasma Series is continuing to live on, I really like. Even if we are making a turn to another scale, I haven't got a problem with that, as long as we still keep getting products from Hasbro on it. That's the main thing for me, really. So the pre-orders went live yesterday on Ghostbusters Day, June 8th. And from what I can see, currently showing as out of stock in the US on Hasbro Pulse's website. The price of them is $44.99 in the US, and in the UK where I am, they are still available for pre-order in the UK. One thing I have noticed is the release dates are slightly different for the 2 countries. So I don't know where it is in your region if you're watching this video from somewhere other than the US or the UK. But in the US, I saw that it was listed that the item will be available to dispatch roughly the 1st of February next year. But actually, if you're in the UK, the pre-order item is being advertised to be dispatched on December 11th, 2024. So if that's the case, and I don't know whether it will be, these are subject to change, somebody could have got the date wrong, but those in the UK might actually get these items a couple of months earlier than the US, which is kind of the exact opposite of what we're used to in the UK, to be fair. So yeah, I really like these items. Drop down in the comments and let me know what you think of these O-ring figures. Are you going to pre-order them? Like I say, I don't know if there's availability still on third-party sellers in the US. You might still be able to get hold of them in other areas like Entertainment Earth, Big Bad Toy Store, all those sorts of sites. I'm not sure. But at the moment, on Hasbro Pulse, they are out of stock for the pre-order. So hopefully, if you're after one, you've gotten one already. But yeah, drop down and let me know what you think of these O-ring figures. I like them. And like I say, I want something that's to scale to my Ecto. And also, just while we're here, please pop a like on the video if you've enjoyed it. And also consider subscribing to my channel as well for future reviews and news. I do a lot of Ghostbusters content here. So if you're a fan of this particular franchise, why not join this community? We'd love to have you. But anyway, let's take a look at the second announcement, or non-announcement. I'm not really sure. So I probably came to this one late, but some of you might have seen on either Hasbro's various social media accounts for a time. You might have seen it on where I saw it, which was a lot of the Ghostbuster Facebook fan groups. I think I saw that it was originally shared by gbfans.com, and I know that Ghostbusters News on YouTube had picked it up and reported on it as well. And this is the tease of a future Haslab, a future Ghostbusters Haslab. So I've got a couple of thoughts on it. But I mean, I will talk about the exciting part of what this Haslab might be and what that might mean for the figures that we've already got and stretch goals, etc. But what I want to talk about first is the fact that the announcement is for fall 2024, and yet this image announcement came and went. So I can't see it on any Hasbro social media platform anymore. From what I understand, it was up for an hour, maybe two, and then got taken down. I might be wrong. It might be even shorter than that. But, I find that a bit unusual. I'm not saying for a moment this isn't true. I have no reason to think it isn't true. And the people that have reported on it already are all very reputable people. So I have no reason to think this is fakery or a joke or whatever. I really do think this is something that's coming. But I just find it unusual that Hasbro dropped the announcement and then immediately pulled back on it. But then when I think about it, the day after the last Haslab being released, is that really smart timing on dropping an announcement for a future Haslab? Maybe taking some of the attention away from a new Haslab that they're really desperate to push. I don't know. But yeah, maybe it was just a mistake on Hasbro's part. But then, if you've announced it, even if it's a mistake, just own it. Just go, yep, it's out now. We'll drop a couple more details in a few days. But here it is. Here's our teaser. And it is a very cryptic teaser, I guess. It doesn't really announce anything, and it doesn't really tease anything concrete. Although, from what I've seen online of people's comments on it, I think the assumption is fairly obvious that this Haslab will be an Ecto-1. The very fact that there is a tyre on there and the Haslab name is designed to be, the red fin that goes along the side of the Ecto-1, I think it's fairly clear that what we're getting is an Ecto-1, or at least we can assume that for the time being. And based on that assumption, what I would believe is that we are getting an Ecto-1 that is to scale to the Hasbro 6-inch 1/12 scale figures, that we've received over the past 4 years. And that's really exciting because every time an Ecto-1 got announced, all you would see are comments of people that are like, oh, I'm so fed up, I've got these Plasma Series figures and you keep releasing Ectos that aren't to scale for my guys. So I can't, it looks weird when I pose them with my Ecto-1. And I assumed that was the only reason of bringing the O-ring figures out, was to go, well, look, here's some figures that are to scale to your Ecto. Calm down, people. But, yeah, it looks like we're getting what I would assume to be a 1/12 scale Ecto. So, I'm not a maths wizard. I don't know what that looks like from a size perspective. But I would imagine that in my head, the Ecto-1 would be almost double the size of the 1/18th scale, so maybe 80% bigger than the 1/12 scale Ecto, if that gives you, maybe 55 to 60 centimeters length. It's a rough guess. I'm not going on anything concrete there, and I'm sure people would be able to tell me exactly what it is. Hopefully in the comments you can confirm exactly what that length might look like. But I think it's really exciting. And I think it's something that Ghostbusters fans have already proven to Hasbro that we buy Haslabs. Even though the last two Haslabs, granted, have been for cosplay items, props as opposed to toys per se. I think we've shown that there is a committed community, that will invest in a higher price item. Both previous Haslabs have smashed stretch goals. So I don't think there's any reason to assume that this Ecto-1 won't reach that target. I personally believe that this will hit its targets, or at least its main target, easily. And I guess the other thing that pops into my head is that this Ecto surely is going to light up, is going to have sounds, there's going to be more to it than just the basic piece of plastic that we got with that last Ecto-1, the 1/18th scale Ecto. So I'm really excited. And now all I can think about, and all I have been thinking about for the last day, is what these stretch goals might look like. I've watched other videos and other comments on other sites, and I completely agree with most of them. We're all on the same page. I would really love to see a kit to make it an Ecto 1A instead of an Ecto 1. Are we going to get more 6-inch figures to go with it? Are we going to get some ghosts to go with it? You know, could we see? I'm thinking to the Diamond Select range for you know, could we get a Janine, a Peck, a Library Ghost, a Slimer? Come on, surely we're going to get a Slimer to go with it. Might we get a Marshmallow Man? Who knows? Maybe that could be for the 4th Haslab when we get the 1/12 scale Firehouse. And my room is just packed with ridiculously sized Ghostbusters items. But who knows? I just think it's really exciting that we've got this opportunity for more plasma series, for more Hasbro toy items, real toy items that will go with the plasma series that we've gotten already. I thought the plasma series was dead. I'm incredibly pleased that I'm potentially getting proven wrong here. I love that we might be getting more items. It's fantastic news. But again, it's just an announcement. All we've got is this one image. And, you know, maybe they've pulled it because they've decided not to do it. I'm trying not to get my hopes up too much. But I would like to think that in the next couple of weeks, we'll get some commitment to what this image means, or at least an acknowledgement that this image exists. Because, like I say, I can't see it on any Hasbro social media platform at the moment. I do think it will come back out soon, and perhaps it was just released too early to coincide with the current Star Wars Tatooine Cantina that came out only on the 7th. But anyway, I'm going on and on. I haven't really got a lot else to say. I'm super excited about this. Really excited about the O-ring figures. I have pre-ordered mine. Have you pre-ordered yours? Will you be getting the Haslab? What stretch goals would you like to see? If it is an Ecto 1, what features would you like to see on the Ecto 1? Do you want a gunner seat? Do you not want a gunner seat so that it's more in keeping with 1984 and the 89 Ectos? Maybe it's something that can be interchanged. Really, really love this concept for a Haslab. I think it's great, and I really do think that there's huge potential that it will get backed if it does get released. But please pop in the comments, let me know what you think. Pop a like on the video, consider subscribing to my channel. On my way to my first 1,000, it would be hugely helpful. But that's it from me. Thanks so much for joining me today. If you're interested in Ghostbusters videos, why not check out this video next? Thanks ever so much. I hope you all take care. Bye-bye now.